Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. I am the savior of humanity. I'm looking for 100 people who have that royal blood within them. They know they can live better lives, that they see themselves as a king. They want to build a kingdom, but they just don't know how to get there yet. And today I'm going to be telling you why it's important to build a kingdom. Because if you're a king, if you have a kingdom, the only way you get there is by having power, and power is important. And the video we're looking at today is a summary video of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. I've read that book several years ago. It's a long read. It's quite interesting in some aspects. It's a it's a extended version of Niccolo Machiavelli's Prince, and it goes through the laws it takes to amass power, to gain power, to hold on to power. In today's society, that book was written in a time where he was working in Hollywood, and he I think he just worked his own guide to a man how to gain power. But if you look at Robert Greene's own story of how he got power, he became an author. Right, by becoming an author, he became a subject matter expert on the 48 laws of power. So people look to him to give presentations and to talk about, what it takes to have power, how to gain it, what it means. And now he became the point of authority on the subject of power and Machiavellianism. Um, you know, did he use all 48 laws? Who the fuck knows? Who cares? What he did do is he became famous and the subject matter expert on the subject. And then he just milked it dry. He then wrote a bunch of books. 50 Cent wanted to collaborate with him, right? Like Robert Greene's just a big nerd. And one of the biggest hip hop stars in the world at the time wanted to collaborate with him on a book. Right? Why? Because he was famous. Because he was seen as the authority on the subject. And 50 Cent thought, right, if I'm going to write a book with anyone, it's going to be the person who knows about power, right? And then they wrote, I think the book was called The 50th Law. He also wrote a book, The Art of Seduction, which then, what he is a historian, by the way. Like, this guy's just a glorified historian. He wrote the book Art of Seduction, which then, just because you write a book on the subject, makes people think, oh, he must know about love and seduction, right? He wrote a book on the art of war. Now he's a military strategist. He then came up with a book on mastery, how to master yourself and your craft. And what's the other book he wrote? Like the laws of human nature or some shit. I've never read that one. I read most of the others. They're good books. They give great historical anecdotes on each subject. You know, but he gained power by becoming famous, and it should be a lesson to you. It's like, well, how do I become famous? How to become, if you're into skateboarding, right? You need to become a subject matter expert on skateboarding, where someone asks you a question and you are easily able to explain it or give advice on something, right? Because then you're the point of authority, and once you're the point of authority, right, it's easy for you to build fame, right? It's easy for you to make content, gain fame, be at the top. And once you're at the top, it doesn't matter what you're on top in, right? Just because you're on top, people think you have the Midas touch. People think you are special, and they'll throw money, business opportunities your way, sponsorship deals. People want to be your friends. Other kings like me will see you as worthy of joining the elites. And the hottest women will want to come around and suck your dick just because they think, oh, it must be a special dick. Like Robert Greene shouldn't be getting pussy, but I bet you he gets a lot of pussy just because he wrote the book on the art of seduction. It's probably one of the slyest genius things that any geek has ever done. Write a bunch of books and get a lot of pussy for it. But anyway, let's go through this video.
Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortable.
The problem with this one is if you're not outshining your master or the people around you, is that you're always going to be below. So you're going to have to, there is an apprenticeship period. So you gain knowledge, you learn the craft, but then comes a moment where you have to break away, and then you do have to go and outshine him, right? Because if you don't allow yourself to shine, is that no one will ever discover you, right? So while you're under the tutelage, and always pay homage to you, whoever you learned from, but there comes a point where it's like, nah, like, you know, I've learned everything I can from you. Now let me take this information, this subject to the next level, the next evolution. Because otherwise you're always going to be stuck. You're always going to be a nobody. You're always going to be second fiddle. So I agree with it to a point. Is that when you are the student, never outshine your master. But when you graduate, go on and take the subject to the next level.
Superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power.
I mean, the way he goes on about it is very sly. It's like literally, it's like he's riding the coattails of this person, and you're gaining power. And he means it. It's like you're gaining power in the sense of on court. It's like, like if you're Logan Paul and Mike Milijic, whatever his name is, Majkovic, he's number two on that podcast, right? And Logan Paul has the power. Mike is kind of just like never outshining him, kind of just being the biggest cheerleader for him. And in that sense, yeah, he's got some power, right? Like he's got, he's part of that show. I'm sure he's making millions of dollars. He dated that porn star, whatever, Um, so he got some power, but it's like Logan Paul's still the main guy, right? Logan Paul's the one who, got to invest in Prime. And then there comes a point where now Logan Paul's just gonna hit new heights, go on to be like a billionaire. Well, this Mike Milijic, who never outshined the master, will just, he'll have a couple million and just be a background guy, fucking dirty porn stars. But wouldn't you rather take your opportunity and be like, fuck Logan Paul? I can be bigger than him. I've got better ideas than this guy. And I'm sure, like this is your competition, guys. Logan Paul. If Logan Paul's able to make fucking money in this world, right? Like, there's 100% chance that someone with your intelligence can outwork and outshine this guy.
Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
Again, remember that this is these laws are for political games and slime balls, really. Like, we're not here to play games, we're here to take over. Like, this is a new regime is coming in, and we're building a new empire, we're expanding a new kingdom, a new dawn of human civilizations where we rule fair, but we will get all the spoils of war. You know, this quote is just bullshit. Like, never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. I mean, learn how to use enemies, great, but never put too much trust in friends. Like, you don't get anywhere in this life without friends. You need people to have your back, to, you know, look out for you, to hold you accountable, to join you in the war, right? Like what's an army? If would you rather have an army of friends or an army of enemies battling another enemy? It's like, there's no honor amongst thieves. And friendship is one of the most important aspects of the kingdom that I'm building. Like, I just want 100 people, right, that I could be potentially very good friends with, right, who I can help, become kings. I don't want them to be subjects in my kingdom. Fuck that. I want to build them up to be their own kings, right, to be their own leaders. And then we come together, you know, like King Arthur, have a round table, and then we'll be discussing how to save humanity, how to phase in the next evolution of for humanity, come up with a better system where people aren't just wage slaves, drowning in debt, numbing themselves with vices and fast food, and having poor health. It's like, nah, let's change things. Let's make sure everyone's living a good life. Let's give everyone a fair chance. um AI is going to take over and going to take away jobs, so it's like we need to find solutions of like, how are people going to live fulfilling lives, start families. um yeah, and it should be leaders like me and you, because the people at the top, they're just too selfish to do anything about it. Do you get what I mean? They're not going to be responsible. They're just going to milk people dry, squeeze all the resources. Once they have all the money, they'll just chuck them to the side and end it for them.
Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from...
I think that's a very just a very negative mindset on having on friendships. It's like, one of my best friends is I've been friends with him for over 15 years. um and like, I 100% trust that this guy's got my back, right? Even had the inkling that this guy is an enemy, or I should be wary of him, it's like what miserable existence would that be? It's like some of the best times I've ever had is with my friends. Like the times where you laugh the hardest is with your friends. It's like, if you can't have that relationship, most people are very lonely in today's society, and the elites have engineered the world in a way for you to be isolated and be lonely. So most people are already paranoid. They think everyone else is out to get them anyway. Um, and if you can't even trust your friends to have your back, it's like, what hope is there? What's the point, right? What's the point of doing anything if you don't have fucking friends, right? Like, I bet he's very paranoid in a relationship as well. It's like, you can't trust your missus, can't trust your girlfriend or wife. It's like, why do anything if you can't trust? Without trust, loyalty, and respect, you know, it just makes a very miserable existence, if you ask me. The best thing is to form communities, to have friends, and that's the only way you will be living a satisfied, fulfilled life.
Make your masters appear, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more...
This is, again, not good advice. Say less. We live in an attention economy. This book was written in the 1990s, I believe 96. Um, say less is like, nah, you have a small window of opportunity. It's like, you need to say more, show people who you are, right? Show what you're about, give your whole story, right? Let them see you as a point of authority in the subject that is of interest to you. Um, use that to build fame, become relevant, and that's how you make it to the top in life, right? If you say less and think, oh, I'm just gonna be this cool guy in the background, like, like, let people come to me and all this shit, it's like, people just gonna walk past you. You know what I mean? Like, the quiet kid at school never got laid. You know, you have to be you have to be one of the popular ones. You know what I mean?
you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Even if you're saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like.
It's fucking bullshit. Like, make it vague, make it mysterious. This and that. Like, we live in the information age. You need to give people what they want, as potent as possible.
Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less.
Yeah, it's fine to be vague and all that once you make it to the top and you're already seen as a powerful person. You know, if your reputation precedes you, but if you're an invisible, if you're an invisible nobody, and people don't know who you are, it's like then by being quiet and vague and timid, it won't get you anywhere.
The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Law 5.
That comment about foolishness is well, man, like people forget very quickly if you was to say something foolish. It's like, and if you're scared of saying something foolish, you'll never make any progress. You're gonna have to put your balls on the line. You're gonna have to put yourself out there. You have to try a bunch of shit until it works, and then you'll be like, you'll figure it out. Like the human brain is a pattern recognition machine. It's a learning machine. It's a solution finding machine. And if your aim is like to do this, you'll try different shit and very quickly you self correct and then find the optimal way of doing something.
So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life.
Yeah, so a reputation, yeah, build your reputation, right? Have a reputation, build a brand, and the best way to do it is to do it around something that is of interest to you. Become the subject matter expert, and let your brand be around the thing that is of interest to you, and then you can showcase your intelligence, your public speaking skills, your charm, your wit. Everything else comes alongside it because people getting the potent information that they're after, they get to realize your personality, and then they'll associate both things with you. So then you're this charming person who is also an expert at something. You're a teacher. Your point of authority. People come to you for your advice, and then you know you become someone that people want to associate themselves with, right? It's very easy to accomplish if you know what you're doing, but most people are too afraid, and a lot of it, the reason people fail most of the time is because they're not willing to put themselves out there. And even if they do try, they're so timid about it that they take little baby steps. It's like you have to fucking come in and smash it straight in. It's like, no fucks given, you know um Robert Greene didn't get success until I think he's 40s, 50s. Do you want to wait until you're 40, 50, 60 years old until you gain success, or do you want to be living it up in your 20s and 30s? Um, you know, have the coolest friends, date the most beautiful women, build a kingdom. Don't you want your future children, to live in a kingdom, or do you want to live in the favelas, the slums, with all the other peasants?
Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides.
People are very quickly to forget. I mean, like even here in England, it's like fucking what's his name, Prince Andrew, associated with Jeffrey Epstein. It's like people don't give a shit. It's like literally like a known pedophile walking around, part of the royal family. It's like he literally fucked up his reputation, but most people don't give a fuck. So I don't endorse you to be a fucking pedophile or hang around with Jeffrey Epstein or Prince Andrew. Stay away from those cunts. But like, you know, if you was to do something foolish, something accidental, like I don't know, spill fucking water over your shirt, people will be very quick to forget, right? And more than that, they'll see your human side. Like everyone makes fucking little mistakes.
Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. Law 6. Court attention at all cost.
Yeah, I mean, since um since the invention of Instagram, more than ever, attention has just become the currency. Like everyone wants to be a social media influencer because everyone realizes like that's where the power is, that's where the money is, that's how become someone in this world, in this life. Um, and you can do it by doing something stupid. You can do it like making prank videos, making comedy skits or whatever. Like if you're a comedian, great, go for it. But most people, most average people, right, can still gain attention, right? Because everyone's unique in their own little way, and you have to find a unique angle, something that's already who you are and how to express it, right? Most people walk around depressed because um, they're depressing their personality, they're pressing it down. But you need to learn how to express your personality. That's how you live a happy, fun, fulfilled life. And if you can do that by making content on a subject that you're truly passionate about, because then you can get to truly express who you are, what you're about, your skills, your intelligence. Um, that's when it all comes to the forefront, and you'll be rewarded. Uh, you'll be rewarded for it with money, fame, the best opportunities, social opportunities, friends. And kings like myself would want to associate with you, and we can together, build our kingdoms and take over the world and save humanity from owning nothing and eating bugs.
Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd then, or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all cost. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful.
And do you see how these laws contradict themselves, right? Like on one hand, he was saying, "Don't outshine the master. Don't say too much," and now he's saying like, "Oh, make sure you gain a lot of attention." What? Wait. Like, all right. What do you want me to be? Do you want me to be loud but not too loud? Like, is this is all like how can you learn 48 laws, right? And then like you the whole time be stifled, just trying to think, all right, should I do this? Can I not do this? Oh, but yeah, if I do this, my master's gonna think this. Fuck all that, right? The only law there is become famous, become a king, and everything else falls into place. Then you make the rules, right? Fuck the 48 laws of power. You can make your own laws of power. The law of power in my kingdom is me, right? That's it. Like, who can fuck with me? Like, who can fuck with me in my kingdom, right? Like, I'll fucking chop their heads off, you know? And so don't take, like this sort of advice too serious, because it's like, you know, because by the time you learn all 48 laws of power, it's like someone else will come along and just like beat the shit out of you, take over your kingdom or your potential, and enslave you. What are you gonna do then? So, you know, don't listen to it. Become a king and set your own rules.
More mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit.
um, Always take the credit. No, sometimes it's good to give credit, because if you give credit where credit's due, is that the people will really appreciate that, and then be more loyal to you, because they're like, oh, like this person actually sees the hard work I'm doing. He doesn't take me for granted. Um, yeah, again, it's a bullshit law. Like, I don't know, no, did he do this? Did someone else write the 48 laws of powers and he took the credit? All right, maybe that worked for him, but it's like it's a pretty snaky thing to do. It's a pretty shitty thing, scummy thing to do, if you ask me.
Use the wisdom, knowledge,
Yeah, he's got a picture of Nikola Tesla. It's like, he got fucked over by Thomas Edison.
and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed.
I mean, I am an ENTJ. I'm which means is I have personality traits of a commander, of a leader. Um, Most people watching this, they have those tendencies as well. They see themselves as a leader. They see themselves as pioneers who are capable of starting a movement. Um, and you know we need you to be the leaders of the next phase of life, for the next evolution of human society, because somebody has to be a leader. And if it ain't you, can you really trust anyone to do the right thing? You know yourself 100%. You know that if you were to do this, you would make the right decision, do the right thing, you know, for the betterment of humanity. Could you really trust Klaus Schwab? Can you trust, you know, um, any of the sleazy politicians that get put into power? Like that, just look at all the scandals that they get up to. You know what I mean? Sex scandals, allegations, taking bribes. Like who the fuck can you trust apart from yourself? So I suggest you become the leader that the world needs, right? And then other good people, other good leaders like myself, will see that, and then we'll be like, right, I'm building my kingdom, you're building your kingdom. This is our mission. We can join missions and take over the globe, and not for power for itself, is for to take power away from evil and build a better future for the next generation, your future children.
In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary.
That's a proper power move. That like, if you can, if people are willing to come to your court. But also, even if you have to go somewhere, you know like, if you're amongst friends, doesn't matter at that point. Do you get what I mean? It's like, if I come to you, if you go to yours, it's like, oh, but me and you are friends, so it doesn't really fucking matter at that stage. I think a lot of this book is a little bit overcomplicated. That who the fuck gives a shit? Who's got time to think that? There's real evil in the world, right? Um, you're a nobody right now. Okay, you need to become famous for you to even then consider implementing shit like this.
When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous.
See, the best friends you're ever going to make in life are the people who have the same goals and ambitions as you. Okay, if you have the same ambitions and plans as someone else, um, is that going to be your enemy or your friend? Right, you're both on the same page. You're both probably same personality types. Like, the people who have the same goals and ambitions as you will be your best friends, because you can help each other accomplish your goals and ambitions. Um, this whole thing is, again, like, he sounds very sleazy. It sounds very timid. It sounds quite, I don't know, very backstabby energy. Do you get what I mean? It's just like, there's no honor amongst what he's saying.
Gains, then attack. You hold the cards. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument.
Um, yeah, you can amass all the knowledge you want, right? Like, and even obviously there's argument with another person and actions with another person, but even within yourself, it's like, you can sit here and debate, come up with different theories, different ways of doing things, right? But you're better off implementing some sort of strategy, testing it out in the real world, and then whatever failure you get off the back of that, you can test out. You can analyze that and learn lessons and how to self-correct yourself. Um, you have to implement actions, not strategies or arguments or theories. Otherwise, you'll just be sitting there mentally masturbating your whole life.
Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy.
And that this also, you know, avoid the unhappy is like, how is your mental health? Are you happy inside your own head? Are you kind to yourself? Do you give yourself praise when praise is due, or do you just beat yourself up in your head? I used to be the type of person that really used to have a lot of negative thoughts. Always be pessimistic. Literally, I used to beat myself up in my own head, and that leads to a miserable life. It's like you need to be on your own team. You need to encourage yourself, and you know you need to convince yourself that you are someone that can do something special in this world. And if you feel like you are royalty, if you have that royal instinct, I suggest you build your kingdom alongside me. Let us take over the world. Let us make the laws. Let us have all the power and make the laws of power, which will just be us. And if you want an elite life, you have to join the elites. And the best way to do that is to become a subject matter expert in whatever thing you're passionate or interested in, and build fame, become a point of authority, and money, power, influence will flow your way, and you will end up living just a fantastic and happy life. That's it for today. I will catch you next time. Peace.